Team Liquid, who are coming off of their match against Loud. We will begin with questions from the remote, with pre-submitted questions first, and then we will go to remote media. Let us begin. This is to Redgar or Emil. It's from Strafe Esports Zen. Really tough loss, guys. Coming into the series, there was a lot of talk about Loud's infamous Viper Harbor comp on Haven. Having gotten to experience it firsthand, is it as suffocating to play against as it appears? Moreover, if you were to face it again, what would you do differently?
I mean, we played against this comp before, also in scrims, so we're ready for it. I think it's more their play style with this comp. It's a bit annoying to play against, but my honest opinion is I wouldn't say suffocating because like we know what to do. So yeah, I don't know about you, Igor.
I'm just thinking that we understand that they're gonna go retake or they are playing behind the walls or they have a lot of abilities to zone us on attack or defense. I think sometimes just if you can't hit the shots versus that kind of chaotic comp, it will be hard to play on post plans. So I think that's what happened with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. This question is to Nats, also from Strafe Esports. You guys did not look as comfortable as you normally do. There was a lot of elements like pop-offs from Scythe, your lurk timings that just weren't getting as much value today. Was this down to Loud making it tough to get going?
You mean my own performance, right?
I think they're just general observations about everybody on the team. Any kind of thoughts on how Loud made it tough for you guys?
So I would say they did a bit hard. So it was a bit hard to play against them. And same moment we also didn't do that we had to do like what we was planning. So both of that things just make that kind of result. So they did very good, and we didn't do good enough.
Thank you. We will now move to remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question, and then we will call on you. While we wait for more questions to be submitted, I think we have some more that have been remotely submitted. Also to Redgar or Emil from the Valorant competitive community. What was the thing you feel was the most complicated to adapt from your strategies between Navi's game and today's game, given the different play styles of the Brazilian team and the style of Navi?
I think I will start. For example, Navi, they're playing more passive, more contact without abilities, and they're playing just a different play style. And adapt to them is much easier because we play versus them too many times. I know what they're gonna do, what we should expect for them. When we play versus Loud, how to say, like, this play style is not the new that you're going like with abilities, full execute, but sometimes, like for example in defense or attack, they can make the solo contact picks that usually teams are not doing because it's risky, but they're trying to find out that kind of duels to win the game.
I think for me, the biggest difference is against Navi is often just a default versus default kind of game, information game, more forcing rotations and thinking. Against Loud, for me at least, it's much more simple. The difference is you have to fight more against Loud. They would bring the fight to you, and you just have to like shoot head, step up, and fight. So it's two different teams. I prefer to play against Loud, to be honest. I play against Navi so many times, but yeah, that's the difference.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the remote media or anybody in the room? We'll go to Declan from Deserto.
Hi, this question is for Redcar. I know it might be hard to answer, kind of just coming straight out of that match, but how do you feel about your kind of season as a whole now that it's pretty much over?
I think that during the EMEA season we played well, but on the national stage it becomes like the problem for us to perform as we can, because we know that we can do much more than we showed. And this is a sad thing, but we're not giving up. We just find out the things why it's going like this, and the next time when we're going to be on the national stage, we're going to be more prepared.
Thank you. We'll go next to Pedro Romero from Blix.
Hey guys, first off, commiserations on that serious loss and also the elimination from the tournament. I got a question for Safe. Given that, the loss is still very fresh in your minds and also the rest of the teammates, I want to know when it came to the experience in this tournament, what do you feel like has been the biggest issue that you and the team uh encountered throughout this time, and what made it so?
I mean, in terms of experience, I don't know. I feel like we're all very experienced players, I guess. I mean, most of us have played a few international events. We have two players that have played every champion so far. So I don't think we ran into any experience issues at all. I think our issues stemmed more from inside the game rather than like, just the general experience.
Thank you. We'll go next to FD News.
Well, my question is for Redgar, and you said that during the regular season of the BCTM, you said that you could perform well, and in the international stage, you couldn't perform really well at the same level. What's what are the key points that you think that made the difference between the regular season and in the international stage?
Hmm. I think that it's hard to answer because I need to find out it by myself, right? But if you're talking about a big difference, for example, when you're playing the season, it's like 3 months, you're playing on the same arena, the same day. It's like the routine thing. And maybe sometimes when, I don't know, maybe you're going to another country or, I don't know, more bigger stage, there's can be a lot of things, that affecting. But I'm just saying in terms of the statistic that we have on our games on international stage, and I see what we can make during the season. And if you already know that, hey, like during the season we have like the good statistic, we won the league, and outside of the game we couldn't perform that well. Uh, I don't know what to say. What's like the big difference? That's the thing that we're gonna find out at six.
Thank you. We'll go next to Pedro from Blix.gg.
Yes, I got a question for Soulcast. Of course, its team underwent a high by winning the EMEA League earlier in the season, and I'm kind of I'm wondering as to what do you think made it so difficult for you guys to return to that level, um, from that point up until now. What do you think made it so difficult in it from your perspective?
Um, yeah, I think maybe it's kind of like similar to what Redgar said, where it's like during the EMEA season, we kind of had like a regular schedule. And we kind of had like consistent kind of workflow there. Maybe when we got to stage, also it's like teams are prepping new strategies, more kind of things to catch off, because during the regular season, it's kind of hard to always change up how you play. So it's kind of easier for us to understand how the enemy team's playing. But playing on these big international events, everyone's gonna give it their all and come up with new stuff. So especially like on Haven, like we haven't played against that comp too much, but we have experience, but like not as much as like default comps. So I think that's where also like we kind of struggled there. And then I think we just also made kind of similar mistakes that we did against like Navi and even in previous international events. So it's something to kind of look back and try and find an actual like concrete answer to fix it rather than letting it happen again.
Thank you. Are there any more questions from the media for Team Liquid? Liquid? Oh, we have one more. Pedro, go ahead.
Yes, I got a question for anyone who would like to answer. With as of now, EMEA has around four more teams left in the tournament. So I'm just wondering, how do you think the region will fare for the remainder of this event, from your perspective? And this could be for anyone who would like to answer.
I mean, we're behind Europe as a region. I still think Europe is a strong region. Also going out, we let Europe down a bit. So I'm sad about that. But I would just say I do think Europe is a strong region, and my heart is behind the remaining teams. So
Thank you. Team Liquid. Oh, go ahead, Soulcast. Were you about to speak?
No. So I'll just achieve.
Liquid, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. We'll be right back with Loud.
thank you.
Thank you.